Yo, and we're live. Welcome back to Down the Track. Today we'll be discussing India versus England, the first day of the ping pong test match, the day-night test match. I have with me my co-host Abrar Aziz and Uzair Sheza. What's up, guys? Abrar, how are you, man?
Good. Good day for India means a good day for me.
Yeah, excellent. Uzi, man, when you saw the toss, Kohli lost the toss. You always get upset when he does lose the toss, but this time it worked in his favor. Your initial thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it went as good as it could be, right? Especially after losing the toss. Yeah, he'll never win a toss. I lost all hope. I don't know how he won the toss last game, but this is perfect actually. It's to prove everyone that it's not all dependent on the toss eventually, right? Seeing how the match is going. So, yeah, hopefully this works better for us.
Yeah, and Don, a lot of talk about these pitches are made everything depends on the toss. But today it wasn't so, right? England bundled 112. Actually, winning the toss was probably the worst thing that happened to them. But so it's more of a test of skill. You think this for this pitch, like it's going to be like this the whole time?
Absolutely. I think it's very important. I mean, in Indian conditions, we've been talking about this for a while now. In Indian conditions, it's almost impossible that you expect like green tops, what you probably see in England, right? So that's an issue. So obviously they're going to go with what works for them, and they're making the most of the home advantage, and I don't see any issue in that. Yes, I didn't expect this to be a rank turner from day one. I mean, it's turned a lot, but like we discussed, like the turn was worrying the batsman, and the balls that actually went straight on were the wicket taking balls. It wasn't like it was turning a lot when they were taking the wickets. The likes of Axar Patel were using the pitch conditions very well, and he was skidding those a few of them on, and those were the ones that were really taking the wickets. So I think that it's not really about the pitch anymore. It's about how you can play, how well you can play in the conditions that you're in, and you have to get accustomed to it quickly. And the only time England looked really good was when it was a completely flat pitch on the first 2 days of the first Test match. Since then, they have struggled with the bat. So I mean, the skill is lacking over there in terms of playing the spin, and it's showing.
Yeah, like Uzi, Don made a really good point there. The turn was there, 2-3 balls, but a lot of the wickets, I think Bairstow, Pope, even what's his name, Root to a certain extent, they were all straight deliveries. They weren't turning. Even Archer in the end. So your thoughts on that? Like, do you think it's just the spin is playing on them, or is it just that kind of pitch is very difficult?
No, obviously, the one which goes straight on, which is because of the natural pitch variation. It's as deadly as the one which spins and cuts the batsman in half, or beats the batsman. So it definitely puts a doubt on the batsman's mind when he sees it spin past his bat. But more than anything, you have to see, like, Crawley had such a good start. He was, you could see that he was having his front foot stride and everything. I don't think that they were using their feet as much. You saw.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw with the Pope dismissal, he stayed rooted to his crease, and they were analyzing it right after he got out. He stayed rooted to his crease, and he got bowled. But the previous ball before that, he used his feet, and you don't have to use your feet just to attack the bowler. You can just use it to just smother the spin and defend and everything. And that's how Rohit Sharma survived his LBW call eventually, which happened later on. So yeah. When they were applying themselves, they had a decent partnership running between Crawley and Root. They looked set for a decent total, like they were 50 odd for two. Then everything went downhill because they were just not using their feet too much. And more than anything, Root's dismissal was really shocking for me. I don't know how he went back to that full delivery. It was totally uncharacteristic for man.
Yeah, like on the back foot, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they have themselves to blame. Yes, it's a difficult pitch to bat on, but they have themselves to blame as well.
Yeah, we have a few guys in the comment section. Ammar, what's up, man? How are you? Yusuf Ismail, our brother, is asking, do you think 250 is enough for India in the first innings? Done.
Yeah, I think with the way it's going, I think 250 they probably have a very meager total in the fourth innings to kind of chase down. I mean, if anything, I mean, with the way England's going, even a 130-run lead would be more than enough for them to be worried, and India will play in the end. So I mean, this pitch is not going to get any easier. So hopefully India doesn't have to take day 4, day 5, maybe finish it off in 3 days. But I think anything above just a little bit more than 250, probably around 300. I think they'll be sorted then.
300. And let's talk about Axar Patel a bit. We're not missing Jadeja now. He's bowling like that. Of course, I mean, Jadeja is a world-class player. Even with the bat, he provides a lot. But the way he's bowling, it's exactly what India wanted. It was exactly that Jadeja type of bowling, a flat trajectory. And when there's a hint of turn, that's it. Like, when one ball spins, it plays with the batsman's mind. And then you saw that the straighter one, they're getting LBW, they're getting trapped. Is it difficult, do you think, to come out to play? Or is it necessary to use your feet, Don, like to Axar Patel?
I think it's important, but I think he's using the pitch variations very well. I think that he's keeping the batsman guessing. I mean, he spins one around and then one goes straight in. He's hitting the ball. He's bowling it at a decent speed as well. Like it's not like in the low 80s. He's putting it up to about a 90. He's hitting 90 clicks an hour, or more often than not, which is, I think, a decent speed at which I think he's creating that doubt in the batsman's mind. But I still think, like Uzi mentioned as well a little earlier, I think the coming forward and showing a little bit more intent would have helped these English batsmen. Having said that, I thought Axar Patel used the conditions very well, and he played. He had an excellent spell for the Indians, and 6 wickets in his second Test match only, and he looks like a world-class player already.
I'd like to see his pitch map. I'm sorry, Don. I'm sure he just landed it on the same spot every ball. He doesn't know whether it's spinning or going straight on. And he doesn't need to know because the pitch is doing everything for him. But his accuracy was incredible, just like Jadeja. I don't think he missed Jadeja at all today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Uzi, what do you think Leach what can he do better? Like, I mean, he picked up a couple of wickets. He got Kohli out. Do you think the dew affected Leach today, or is there something that he can learn from Axar Patel?
One thing against Leach is he doesn't have any support. It's going to be very tiring mentally and physically.
And one spinner, yeah.
You have to feel sorry for him in that aspect. Apart from that, I think he's doing everything he can, to be honest. Yes, the dew is playing a big factor. I don't know as to what extent the dew was forming later today during the latter aspect of the game.
Around like 7 o'clock India time, the dew just came, man. It just came and it poured.
That's not going to help at all. But we'll have to see tomorrow if the pitch is helping him at all in the first session. His work will be a little cut off for him. The batsmen will struggle. They will give their chances. They will be beaten. Just how much support he can get from the other bowlers. But more than that, I think he's doing a decent job. He did a good job in the second Test as well. So.
Yeah, Don, you're surprised with the team selection. In the beginning, pink ball, many of us thought that India should have gone with an extra fast bowler instead of Washington Sundar, even though Sundar wasn't needed with the ball, but it looked like the right thing to go with 3 spinners on this pitch. England got too excited with that twilight period, the pink ball moving. Like in the nets, it did probably seem, but this was going to be a completely different pitch, and they were going to shave that grass off. So were you surprised with the team selection? Just one spinner? You don't need to go with 3, but at least go with 2, right?
Yeah, I was very surprised. I mean, yes, I understand the inclination to get an extra fast bowler because of the fact that it's a pink ball test and all of that. But you have to understand the conditions. They've played in the second Test match and they've seen how much it's going to turn. Obviously, you're probably not expecting Chennai kind of turn, which in the end it happened to have that much kind of turn. But it was definitely surprising to go with 3 fast bowlers and only 1 spinner was a little surprising. Especially considering Stokes can give you a few overs if you need a little bit of pace as well, So going with 2 fast bowlers and 2 spinners at least would have been ideal, considering you have Stokes in the lineup as well if needed. In that twilight period, you can probably use him for a few overs, So I'm very surprised by that decision, and it's clearly costing them. I mean, 200 plus runs were scored on the day, but 9 wickets, 9 plus 2, 11 wickets were taken by spinners, out of the 13 that fell today. So obviously the spin is a big deal. So very surprised by that decision of England to go with that extra fast bowler.
Yeah, no, 100%. Uzi, you want to add anything on that?
Like I agree with that. I don't know why they needed 3 fast bowlers. They definitely misread the pitch, and more than anything, even if they went with that lineup, it's disappointing to see how Archer bowled today, especially because he just looked out of gas. He may prove us wrong and come out with fire tomorrow, but he just looked harmless. He was bowling in the mid 130s, low 130s. So again, like just adding to Don's point, if he continues bowling like that, they just missed out on a great opportunity to have another spinner to give support to firstly, and to penetrate the Indian batsmen. So we'll see tomorrow what happens.
Yeah, just looking at the comment section, Muttaqeen, what's up? Ammar is asking, he's saying it's a bad decision from England, but do they have quality spinners? I mean, Moeen Ali picked up 8 wickets in the last game, so you don't really need to have high quality spinners. Just play a spinner, and I mean, of course, like it might not be Axar Patel level or whatever, but Uzi, like if Moeen Ali can take 8 wickets, I'm sure they should have kept them there, right?
Yeah, but I don't know why. I don't know the reasoning as to why Moeen Ali left for England. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And I wanted to ask you actually, what happened to Dom Bess after the first test? Why isn't he playing?
From what I last heard was that like he wasn't he ran out of gas in the first test and he just didn't look fit enough. I think Don was also telling me this, if I'm not mistaken. He ran out of gas, he didn't look fit enough, so they didn't want to play, but he did pick up 4 wickets in the first innings of the first test. So
Yeah.
I think he should have played first of all, they should have
Yeah,
kept, if they're not going to keep Moeen Ali, then they should have played Dom Bess 100%. You need 2 spinners on this pitch.
yeah, and as the question asked, are they as quality as the Indian spinners? Of course not.
No.
And no one's expecting them to be. But
Yeah.
you just need that lineup. How he can do on his own, it's hard to tell. But yeah, it's not gonna help being alone at all.
It's like India's tour of Australia. They lost so many players, but they went with a particular combination. You know, like they went with like Sundar as the spinner. They didn't add Kuldeep Yadav. They went with the extra fast bowler because the Gabba pitch tends to assist the fast bowler. So I think it's more of the combination, and England should have stuck to that, I feel, as well.
Yeah, I don't know when was the last time any team played with one spin in India in their lineup. So yeah, it's just bizarre, to be honest. Like Don said, no one knew it was going to spin square from day one. But regardless, you need 2 spinners at least. Now I don't know as to what extent Root will bowl tomorrow. He does seem to make things happen every now and then. But again, quality or not, you need at least someone like Moeen Ali or Dom Bess. How many overs is Root going to bowl? Not that many.
Yeah. 100%. Don, just a word on Zach Crawley and even Rohit Sharma. They were batting on a different pitch. I think some excellent shots over there from both of them. They used their feet. I think, like Uzair said, I think that was the key. On this pitch, you can't just sit there and stand there. You'll get trapped, LBW. You need to use your feet, and some really good shots as well. They just look like they're playing on a different pitch. Your thoughts on both their performances?
Yeah, absolutely. Both of them were incredible. They showed intent. I mean, the most important thing in this pitch to get those runs is to show intent. I mean, you have to be a little attacking. You have to be dominant, and you have to put the bad balls away. And some very good shots as well, like you said. I mean, Zach Crawley, especially I was seeing his highlight reel. Some of those cover drives that he played, man, it was just so beautiful to watch. And Rohit Sharma, he has some beautiful cover drives. He has some beautiful pull shots. I mean, he is an absolutely class player. We always talk about his pull shots. You know how big fans we are all of his pull shots. So he's amazing. I mean, both of them were fabulous on the day. Both of them did very well. Zach Crawley also getting that half century, give him a world of confidence. Coming into the side and getting that half century in place of Rory Burns, obviously opening the batting. So good for him, and hopefully he can continue doing something, and maybe some of the other England guys can learn from him. Just show that kind of attacking intent and try to come down the pitch a little bit. Wait for the bad ball and put it away. That's all you need to do in these kind of pitches, and that's what Rohit Sharma did. That's what Zach Crawley did, and if more people can follow this, you'll obviously start to understand the pitches better and make the most of what the pitch is giving you.
Look at both of their strike rates, Zach Crawley and Rohit Sharma. They got their 50s in really quick time. It just shows that you get enough bad balls to put them away, but you have to put them away. Or else, no point. You'll just consume balls and go into your shell, and it's just a matter of time until you get out.
This is not like a Pujara type of pitch, I feel like. I mean, he has the ability to attack, but like that's not his type of pitch. You need to score quickly. Yeah.
You have 10 boundaries, I think, Crawley. Yeah.
And Rohit has 8 already. Yeah. Puneet is asking, what's up, bro? He's asking if Sundar is playing as a batsman, why not play Pandya? Uzi, Don, who wants to take that?
It's a good question, but I think it's because of the fact that they want that extra little bit of spinner. I mean, they didn't use him because, I mean, obviously England got bundled out for 112, which they probably didn't expect. But I think if it had gone on a little longer, maybe into the 60, 70 overs, they would have probably had a few overs of extra spin because of the conditions that we've seen so much spin come through. And they probably expect to use him a little bit more on day 3 and 4 when it's going to probably spin a little bit more. That's the reason they probably have Washington as an extra spinner. And he's no mug with the bat. I mean, he's performed time and again. He's showed you some classy innings with the bat as well, and he's also open for his stateside and in Tamil Nadu and stuff like that. So he's a very good, very handy batsman and a decent spinner. So that's probably the reason. I mean, I love Pandya as a batsman, but his bowling has been susceptible, and I'm not sure if he's fully available to bowl. That's probably the reason they just want that extra bowler to be there when needed, I guess.
Yeah, I think they probably want him fully fit with the T20 World Cup coming up as well. I think they want him fully fit, so they're probably being extra cautious with him. And Sundar will always he can give you like 5 to 10 overs as well. So I think, yeah, that probably answers the question. And just to get onto a bit of the controversy, Stokes Catch, was that out or no, man?
Oh, it was not out, and the behavior after that.
It wasn't out. Yeah,
it wasn't out at all. Yeah.
In the beginning, we both thought it was out.
Yeah, but no, it was clear. Like, normally there's always that doubt whether the fingers are under the ball, and you definitely give the benefit of doubt to the fielder because you can't see the fingers, and to the visual eye, it looks it looks like he grasped it, like in normal circumstances. But this totally, like, his left hand was totally away from the ground, and the ball was touching the grass. But yeah, I didn't really understand the behavior after that. The way Stokes and Root were just they were just going and confronting the umpire. I don't know what the on-field umpire has anything to do with it. He gave the soft signal as out. So yeah, this was one of the clear ones when it comes to catches. I think it was clearly not out. I think you guys would agree with that as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. It was never out.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought it was I didn't see clear evidence of him like with his fingers, because the thing is the soft signal was out. So for that you need conclusive evidence it's not out. In the beginning, to be honest, I didn't think it was conclusive evidence. Now I've seen it like 100 times and I don't see you can tell that his fingers are not there. But to be honest, it took me like an hour to understand that because the soft signal was out. If the soft signal was not out, then it's a simple thing, and I think that's why they lost it, Root and stuff. I think that's why they lost it, because of that soft signal.
You think he could have looked at it a little longer?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think he looked at it too quick. I looked at it a bit longer because of but yeah, when I kept looking at it after that, like maybe like half an hour after the decision, and then I could probably tell. But yeah, I don't think it was that straightforward of a decision, to be honest with you. But yeah, and a few impact calls. Any thoughts on the umpire's call kind of thing, Don? Do you like this kind of theory, or just that's the rule?
It unfortunately is the rule. I don't know how we can probably get over it. I mean, how are they going to kind of try and come up with a rational decision in terms of well, if it's hitting the wicket, fair enough. But if it's just clipping the wickets, is it enough? These kind of decisions, it's going to be hard to do. I think that the fact that it's the umpire's call gives it enough reason to be in the right direction. So, umpire still has some say. But if he gets it completely wrong, then obviously it can be overturned. But I think at some point in time you have to give the umpire some say as well. Otherwise it's going to get to a point where it's going to be very pointless for him to stay over there as well. They don't see the no balls anymore. They don't see too many other things. They probably have to control some things in the pitch, but not a lot of the other things are under their control now. So then you either go completely technology and then just get them out of the pitch as well and let cricket go on. But I think it's going to be very difficult to get a clear rationale on that. It's just my opinion. Maybe if technology can surprise us, because it has been. We never thought that DRS would be a big deal. We are seeing with VAR as well. There's so many issues over there. So with DRS, I think that they've gotten a decent. They've gotten to a decent point. Maybe they want to improve it, but it's going to take some time, and you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think it's a decent. I mean, I'm not as upset about it as a lot of the people I've been seeing lately are getting upset with it. It's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, no, 100%. Some good points there. Uzi, you're saying something?
No, yeah. Like you said, there's not much you can do. The umpire's call is also a gray area. Whether it's clipping the bails, yes. Sometimes on-field calls for decisions which you'd normally think shouldn't be given, they'd have to stick with that when it's just clipping the bails. When you look at it deeper, you think as to maybe it should be overturned despite clipping the bails. But like you said, I think some importance should still be given to the umpire. That's why it's still there. And I mentioned, then or else there's no point with them being there. But I can understand both sides of the debate. But yeah, I don't know if there's a solution as of yet to counter that yet.
Yeah, very very interesting. Just last few questions. Puneet's asking again. Any comments on folks batting with six, like batting six down with the tail and defending every ball, and Stokes not playing his natural game? Don?
I think with Stokes not playing his natural game, I just feel like he's starting to take too much pressure of being that middle order mainstay. And I think that that's creating an issue, especially when Root gets out. I think that he takes a lot of pressure on himself. I think he should play a little bit more freely. I don't understand why he's not doing that, because when he played like that in the first test, he scored that 80 odd, which was very good when but he was playing that kind of that with that freedom because Root was on the other end. But I think as soon as Root gets out, I think that he takes too much pressure and that's creating an issue. So I think that he should definitely go and play his natural game. I mean, he is unfortunately getting out even if he's not playing his natural game. So at least he can go out trying. I mean, if he does get out playing or trying to hit a six or something, it's understandable. But the kind of back foot play that we saw from him for whatever little time he stayed on the crease was not good enough for me, for sure. And folks, I don't think where else can you play him. I think you have to play him at that position because all the other players coming above him are pretty solid batsmen as well. And he's in this team for purely as a wicket keeper. So and he's a good batsman. Don't get me wrong, but he's I think that I don't see you. I don't know if you want to play him up the order also, because as a wicketkeeper you put in a lot of effort in the field as well. So I don't think getting up maybe one or two spots, but anything above that is almost hard. So because he has to also be fresh to keep as well. So that's
to
probably
keep as well. Yeah, maybe just this pitch was also a bit difficult, so he probably had to change his game plan for that. But yeah, Uzi, question for you. Ashish is asking, what will be the role of Axar Patel when Jadeja comes back in? Will he be benched? And if Jaddu is back and Axar is benched, will Kuldeep be dropped as well, or will he play? What do you think will happen when Jadeja comes, basically?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it? It's pretty obvious. Axar will be benched. And Kuldeep would be sidelined from the squad because they're going.
Like what happened with Natarajan and Shardul Thakur, and these guys had an unbelievable away series. But when the fast bowlers,
I think they're going to persist with Washington, at least in the squad, because he does show a lot of technique and very handy with the bat. He's a proper number 6 batsman, in fact, actually. So. It's pretty obvious. I think Axar has shown a lot of skill, a lot of. He's been very, very surprisingly good with these past 2 test matches. I think even Shehbaz Nadeem gets out of the reckoning now.
Yeah, I think he had a poor first game, and to be honest, he didn't get the pitch, but he did have a poor first game.
Yeah, and Axar Patel is handy with the bat, not to the extent of Ravindra Jadeja, but he's going to be favored now.
Yeah, Jadeja is one of the best all-rounders right now in the world, so I think he gets into the team no matter what. So
there could be a case of having both of them over Washington being dropped into the 11. I know it's very similar kind of bowling, but I just feel like Washi could probably have to take a backseat, especially considering Axar has been so good. That's the only reason they have the debate.
Yeah, the only thing is if you get pitches like this, then play both of them, no problem. The match will finish very early. But if it's like more of a flatter track, I think it'll be monotonous.
Yeah, so you need extra batsmen. You need extra batsmen.
And I think Sundar will provide with the bat for sure. And just to wrap up, Don, who's going to be India's leading scorer? Will Rohit Sharma get 100 this innings? And who will take the most wickets for England? And what is the lead you're looking at?
I'm expecting about a 200, 210, 215 kind of lead. Rohit Sharma will probably score a century, and Jack Leach with a fifer.
Jack Leach with a fifer. And Uzi, predictions and what type of lead are you looking at?
I don't think he'll get Rohit.
He got a couple of chances, right? A drop and LBW
as much as I want to see them go out and get a big one, and hopefully they prove me wrong. I think, like the previous game, there will be a mini collapse and there will be some restraint from the lower order batsmen. I think a lead of 150 is what I'm expecting. Rohit being the top scorer with 80 odd. Okay, and yeah, like Abrar said, maybe Leach will get a fifer. Yeah.
Leach might get a fifer, but I'm predicting he's going to get hit for like 3 sixes and 10 fours from Rishabh Pant. I think
Oh, we
that's
still
it.
have Pant. Yeah, we
So
still
I
have
think
Pant.
in the other games, if you notice, Moeen Ali and Dombas were keeping Pant a bit quiet from one end, but over here it's only Leach, right? I think Root will come in. Probably Root will come into Pant, but I think Rishabh Pant will definitely be. A player to watch tomorrow. Quick runs, right, on this kind of pitch. That's what you need, and I think he'll go for it up the strike rate.
Any chances of Anderson or an Archer onslaught? I don't know, like a quick fire, rapid 3 or 4 wicket. And
There might. It'll be interesting in the first session to see because there was dew in this session, so they did struggle like 100%. If they get a bit of swing in the afternoon session, but generally that afternoon session is very good to bat. So it'll be interesting to see. It's a bit tricky right now for England, but they will need like an Anderson special or an Archer special, like a burst from one of their quick bowlers because they can't expect Leach to pick up all the wickets. Puneet was just saying, why isn't Root bowling? That's why I think he should bowl, but maybe it was the dew. Maybe I think he will bowl definitely. Just last question to wrap up. Ramiz Bhai is asking, should India start a rotation policy, Don, like how England are doing, because there's so many quality players, and I'm guessing he's saying that because of the COVID situation and all the tight schedule.
Please, not to the extent of what England is doing. Please, they can probably
because it disrupts the rhythm, right? 100% this rotation policy.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I mean, I think they're doing a decent job of trying to rest players when needed. Like, Jasprit Bumrah didn't play the last game. These kind of small changes, 1 or 2 changes in a game is totally understandable. But if you keep having 4 to 5 changes every game, it's obviously going to disrupt the rhythm and it's going to create these kind of situations. And you can see England is struggling with newer players coming in every time. Johnny Bairstow looked out of sorts today because obviously he's used to these kind of conditions. But someone who played like a Dan Lawrence, who's played the second test, and he's played over 50-60 balls in both innings almost. So he's played 100 balls in the game, and he's understanding a little bit of how the variations of Axar, Patel, Ashwin and stuff like that. Obviously, it's going to take a while to Johnny to understand. So these kind of things are just very confusing as well. And
that's an excellent point because these are tough conditions, and there was Butler, he was facing these conditions, Lawrence was facing these conditions, Moeen Ali, and then now suddenly Bairstow's in it, Crawley played brilliantly, but it is difficult if you just suddenly put these guys in the deep end.
Exactly. I just think that it creates an unnecessary issue in terms of bringing in these players, and someone who's bowled decently. I mean, I'm not saying he's bowled very well compared to some of the other bowlers, but as someone like a Moeen Ali, he's picked up 8 wickets, he's given you 40 odd runs. It's a decent performance. I mean, this is in a losing cause. So you have to do a little bit. I mean, so it's very surprising the way they're doing it. I think India is doing okay in terms of resting a couple players here and there, but I think they shouldn't try too much more than that. It could create the same kind of an issue that England is probably facing right now.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Once really quickly, I think the likes of Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, these guys don't play ODIs as much, so they are proper test match players. So it doesn't really matter.
On with the points, baby. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point.
It doesn't really matter to kind of change them. Even the likes of Ashwin, he doesn't play in the ODIs. Ishant Sharma is again 4 or 5 of these players never play in ODIs anyway, so it doesn't really matter to kind of create those rotation policies, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. I think that wraps up everything. Uzi, any last thoughts? You're good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
But I think some excellent thoughts there, Uzi, Don. Great points. I hope to catch you guys tomorrow. Enjoyed the game, and it was a lot of fun. You guys, whoever's watching, thank you so much for joining in. The questions were brilliant. Join us again tomorrow, hopefully similar time after the match. And smash a like on the video and see you guys soon. Take care, Uzi. Abrar, take care, man. Take care.